Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. First things first, I have officially moved into our new apartment. I do plan to do a room tour slash bookshelf tour. I did get a new bookshelf when I moved, so super exciting. Expect to see a lot of fun videos hopefully being filmed in this apartment. I have stunning huge windows that bring in so much natural lighting. I've got overhead lights as well in this apartment, and honestly I'm just super excited to be in this new space and get to film new videos here, so yay to that. But I'm here today, first video filmed in the new apartment, to give y'all my June book budgeting and book haul video. This is a monthly video that I've been doing in 2023 where I'm very open with y'all about the books that I bought over the span of the month. If I went over my budget, thankfully I haven't done that yet this year, not including this month. I'm about to go into that. It's sad, but I'm gonna be honest about it. And we talk about all the books that I purchased throughout the month. So I have quite the haul for y'all today, which is fun but also bad because I did unfortunately go over my book budgeting max for the month of June. My monthly budget is $150. However, the books that I unhaul do filter back into that. So most months I do spend over $150 on books, but because I unhaul so many things as I read them and things like that, I also make back some of that money. So I haven't yet gone over up until June. So unfortunately this month I did go over by a lot, but I kind of blame vacation for that. There was also a Bookish event that I went to and I got some books there. So I'm not trying to justify the fact that I went over. I went over and it is what it is. I'm going to try to spend less in July and August to kind of make up for that. Mostly July though, because August I'm going to California to visit Stasia and I know that I'm going to buy some books with her. But yeah, going to try to spend not a ton of money on books during the month of July minus my subscriptions, and hopefully I can kind of even the scales a little bit because it was not quite my intention to go over my book budget this month, as it ever is. Like, I never want to go over my book budget, but there were a lot of exciting things that happened this month and I wanted to be able to have fun at those things with the new subscriptions that I was able to get and things like that. So I'm going to have to do some reworking in the future months. I think I'm going to cancel one of my subscriptions that I have currently in favor of something else that I got off the waitlist for this month. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right into the stats. I'll go ahead and let y'all know what I spent and how much I made in unhauls, and I'll also go through the subscriptions that I have and what I spent on those before diving into the specific books that I got. A lot of these don't actually have a cost attached to them, and I'll explain that in a little bit why not, which is really exciting and a fun way to like acquire new books while I was on vacation in Hawaii, but we'll get into that in a second. So first things first, this month before the unhaul, I spent $391.92 on books, subscriptions, special edition one-time purchases, etc. With my unhaul, I still spent over $150, but I made $147.08 on the books that I unhauled during the month of June, which means that the total amount of money that I spent in June on books, and this hurts me, but it's fine, is $244.84. So I failed my book budgeting this month, but hopefully July will be better. I haven't bought in any books yet. I haven't purchased any books yet, so hopefully we keep up on that trend as the month progresses. So let's go ahead and talk about the subscriptions that I have. There are several here. First, I have my Dark and Quirky subscription, which renews twice a month for $43.70 total. This is the subscription that I am very certain that I'm going to be canceling come the end of July before it renews, like for the third box of the year. I was invited to get off the wait list for the Eternal Embers bookshop, and so I'm going to swap those two. So I got Eternal Embers, so this month I paid for both Dark and Quirky and Eternal Embers, but I'm hoping that after this month, after June and July, that will not be the case anymore, as I'm going to cancel my Dark and Quirky subscription. So I spent $65.99 on that Eternal Ember subscription. My battery is about to die 1 second. Okay, I think we're back, and hopefully this battery is actually at full charge because I haven't charged these in a while I've been on vacation, so hopefully this lasts throughout the rest of this video. Anyway, I spent $65.99 on Eternal Embers. Again, hopefully after July, I will only be spending money on Eternal Embers as I do plan to cancel my Dark and Quirky subscription. I spent $15.96 on my Audible subscription, $48 on my Bookish box subscription that I keep saying I'm going to cancel, but every month they keep announcing really good books for their adult subscription, so I did go ahead and keep that, and it's fine. I don't want to talk about it. And then I also have a couple of one-time purchases that I made in June. What month is it? I don't even know. I ordered from the Mystic Book Box. They were doing a special edition of the Mind F series by St. Abbey, and it made it to general access, general purchase, so I was able to snag a copy, and I was able to split up the payments. But in June, I paid $45.76 for it, and I have one payment left for that I'll be doing in July. And then I also paid off the rest of my one-time purchase of Love and Other Words from the Steamy Lit book box, and I spent $24.75 finishing off this payment. I also got my special editions of the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy from the Bookish box. I didn't spend any money on it this month. I paid it all off by October of last year, but they finally arrived. I'm not going to show y'all the actual books because I'm going to do an unboxing reel of them. I haven't even looked at all of them yet, but they did all come in individual packages. I'll give y'all a sneak peek of what one of them looks like, and I am so excited to finally have these in my hands after so long. So this was a really fun surprise to receive while I was on my trip. That is it for the one-time purchases and subscriptions that I have. I have now here a lot of books to share with y'all that I acquired during June, but a lot of them I got without spending any money on them, so that is fun. I'm kind of just going to go in order of like the stack that I have. For the most part, like I have 2 stacks here. I'm just gonna go in order of how they're stacked up, which is in no particular order in the first place, but it is what it is. So first, I got The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I actually got this for free from the publisher. Avon was so kind to send me a free copy of it, as well as a pack of tabs, which was so fun. And I was, again, really excited to open this one up once I got back from my trip a couple days ago, but I did receive it in June, so I'm counting it here. I do have 2 copies of this book now, but I have really enjoyed the one book that I've read by Mariana in the past and have high hopes for this one as well. Everybody seems to love it. This is a football romance, I believe. But yeah, I got this one for free and I am so honored to have received it. So thank you so much to Avon for sending me a copy of this book. I also got a copy of Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller for $45. This is a special edition from Fabled Knights, I believe is the name of the company. Yes. And it came with a signed book plate from Sav. This is one of my favorite books of 2022, so when I saw that this one was being sold for relatively cheap compared to some of the other copies that I've seen, I went ahead and grabbed it because, again, I love this book and I think the special edition is so stunning. I love it. So I got this one for $45. I also got an arc of Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon that I believe just came out. I got this for my bestie Stasia and I just paid shipping for it, so I spent $5.44 on this one. Stasia didn't love this book, but I've read The X Talk by the author and I really enjoyed it, so I do have high hopes for it personally. I'm just kind of scared since Stasia didn't love it, but we'll see how it ends up going. But I'm excited to have it in my hands. I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that I went to a Bookish event in June, It was hosted at my local Books A Million back home, and so I drove up for the weekend. I had another thing going on, but this was perfect timing because I was already there. I was able to find out about it ahead of time. I got a ticket and I got some books while I was there. So we love to see it. The first one that I got was an ARC of The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramis. Got this one for free, of course. It was an ARC. The author had a limited number at her table. If you went and stopped by, you could grab one. I got a picture with her. She signed my book and I am very excited to read it. It sounds like, I think this one was a mix between, I don't know, I want to say Akatar, but I think that's the other fantasy book that I got at the event, like Akatar and Bridgerton, but I might be wrong. I don't think it's this one that was the mix between those two. It's like kind of what the vibes were of it, but I mean, it was an ARC. I love ARCs. I love supporting new authors, and so I'm excited to get to this one, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I also got The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan for free by signing up for the event, for getting a ticket. So I do have this one. I don't know what it's about, but I think it's a billionaire romance. It is the first in a series, I believe. I didn't actually get to meet Kennedy Ryan, unfortunately, while I was there. Her line was very long, and I had already stood in line for another author for a long time, so I didn't end up getting the book that I got at the event signed by her, but that's okay. I'm still very excited to read it. I also got The Gay Best Friend by Nicholas Didomizio. I got to meet and talk with the author for a little bit. Nicholas was so kind. I am super excited to read his book. It sounds like such a good summer read. The cover just screams summer vibes, so I have high hopes for it. I've been seeing it around Instagram since its release, and I look forward to picking it up myself. And then finally, I got A Crown of Ivy and Glass by Claire Legrand. This is the one that is a mix, or like perfect for fans of Bridgerton and A Court of Thorns and Roses. So it's romantasy, I believe, is how you would classify this one. But I also got to meet this author while I was there, and so I just really wanted to grab her book and support her in that way. But I did pay for, let me pull it up, A Crown of Ivy and Glass and The Gay Best Friend, and for both of those I paid $36.49 total. The rest of these books I got on vacation, and there's a lot here. There is one Barnes & Noble on the island that we were on, but there's also like a little free library at the resort, and there was a used bookstore at one of the malls that we went to a couple of times. So I have a good mix of Barnes & Noble books, used bookstore books, and then books that I grabbed from the little free library when I was going in to like swap my own books. So I bought more books while I was in Hawaii on vacation, but several of those ended up back in the little free library because I read them really fast or whatever and was able to like trade, which was really fun. So the stack that I came home with is a really good stack, I think, and I'm really excited about it. First, I got The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I've read The Drowning Kind by this author and really enjoyed it. So when I saw this one in the little free library that they had, I went ahead and grabbed it when I was putting one of my other books that I read back. This is a historical slash contemporary thriller. It takes place, part of it in 1978, then the other part of it takes place in 2019. So excited to read this one. I do have the audiobook and plan to start it today, hopefully, but we'll see about that. Did I mention that I spent $0 on that book? I think I did, but if not, I spent $0 on it. I also got Throttled by Lauren Asher. I got this one at the Barnes & Noble for $16.86. This is the first in a series. Lauren Asher is the author of The Fine Print, and this one is not available on Kindle Limited, but I've heard the series is so good, so I went ahead and grabbed the first book while I was at the Barnes & Noble while on vacation. I also got The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This one was a part of my used bookstore haul that I ended up spending $21.48 at. All their books were super cheap. Most of the proceeds went toward the library that they have on the island, like the public library system, so it was really fun to support them but also walk away with several books. I think I had 5 books when I left that day, but I only came back with 3 of the books that I purchased just because I made swaps. I read some of the books swapped them out, etc. So first one was The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I've already read this one, gave it 4 stars, really enjoyed it. This is a really good isolated thriller with very unlikable characters. Would recommend it personally. Again, I had a good time with it, and the audiobook was really good. So I've already read that one, but that was a part of that used bookstore haul. I also got Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler. I don't know what this one is about, but I've seen it around Bookstagram in the past, so I went ahead and bought it. I think the cover is very minimal and stunning. And then finally I got, I don't even know what the name of this book is called, An Oral Biography of Buster Casey, which is, I think it's like a mix between a psychological thriller and horror. Expect hilarity, horror, and blazing insight into the desperate and surreal contemporary human condition. And then this book is by Chuck Palahniuk, I believe is how you pronounce their last name. The author has a couple of horror books published, and this one, the cover was very intriguing, and I've never seen it before, but I decided why not, you know. So here I am with this book, which is the last book that I came home with from that used bookstore haul. And then I have 3 more books left that I came back with from vacation / got during June, yeah, to be added to this book haul. So first I got Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. My sister gave it to me. She didn't want to put it in her suitcase or her carry-on, so I said I would take it, and so she gave it to me for free. We love to see that. And I also found Happy Place by Emily Henry in the little free library that we had at the resort. I saw it and I sprinted to the shelf to grab it when I was trading another book in, and I walked away and tried not to cry because this book is expensive when you buy it at full price. It's $27, the standard cost of a hardback, but I'm not obsessed with Emily Henry, so I didn't want to spend full price on it. I don't have any of her other books, but when I saw that this one was on the shelf at the little free library, I snagged it, and I'm going to cherish it because I do want to read it. I just was hesitant to spend all that money on it, and I hadn't yet looked into grabbing it from the library. So now I have it physically, and I spent $0.00 acquiring it. So you love to see it. And then finally I got A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. This book has terrible ratings, but I think that it sounds great. It's a thriller, domestic thriller, and I want to read it, so I went ahead and grabbed it again when I saw it at the little free library at our resort. This book definitely came from the used bookstore on the island that we went to a lot, because the stickers and handwriting kind of seem to match, I think, on these, and they both have the prices written inside the cover, so I think they both came from the same bookstore, which was fun. But I did get this one for $0.00 as well, because I grabbed it at the library that they had, or the book exchange shelf that they had at our resort. So that is my book haul for the month of June. I did unfortunately go over my book budget, but that is okay. I'm just gonna try to not buy as many books in the month of July and focus on reading some of these and unhauling them, and hopefully making some of my money back. If I don't love the books that I do end up reading, I'll go ahead and unhaul them this month. So yay, that's the book haul. I feel like this is one of my most fun ones. There's a lot of sentiment attached to a lot of these books just because they're special editions of books I love, or I got books signed by the authors when I got to meet them, or whatever. So a really fun book haul for the month of June. That came at the cost of going over my book budget, but I don't want to keep that a secret. So yeah, that is the month of June. I'll go ahead and recap really fast. I ended up spending, after my unhaul, $244.84. So I did unfortunately go over my budget for the month, but again, that's okay. July will hopefully go much better. I don't have any fun things planned, so it should be an easy month book buying wise. So that's all that I have for today's monthly book budgeting and book statistics video, book budgeting and book haul video. If you got any fun books in the month of June, feel free to comment down below and let me know. If you've read any of these books and want to recommend them to me, again, let me know in the comments down below. I have read a couple of them already at this point, but most of them have been unread, have not been read yet, and I need to get to them eventually. So yeah, that's all that I have for y'all today in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.